Hello. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Ahoy there. It has been a little couple of weeks since we did a live read of a One Piece chapter. So, some quick channel updates. As you can plainly see, I finally got around to picking up a wired earbud that I could actually plug into my PC. So now I can wear hats on stream. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Anywho, plans for today's stream. There's some stuff I need to do some reactions to, but first and foremost on that list, as always, will be the most recent One Piece chapter. And after this, we'll probably do some reactions to some Star Rail stuff that came out like over the last day or so. In some unrelated news, went and saw Iron Lung in theaters last night. I recommend you go watch it if you have any interest in psychological horror, or if you have an interest in the game Iron Lung. It's definitely worth watching. I would say it's a solid 7 out of 10 movie. I feel like it's a tad long, especially given the source material that it's based off of. But outside of the fact that it feels a little bit lengthy and that there's a little bit of an audio problem with digital voice rendering that makes it hard to hear people that are talking off screen, beyond those two little nitpicks, I'd say it's a pretty good film. Go watch it if you have time. Anywho, that's enough about my personal life. So let's just get into the chapter review, or chapter read through, I should say. So, where we last left off, if I remember correctly, we just ended Loki's ridiculously long 6-month flashback that was taking place in the span of 3 minutes. So this will be our first return to form, so I'm actually kind of excited to see what actually happens in this chapter. We're treading new ground, by which I mean we're actually progressing the plot. Alrighty, chapter 1172. Page 1, The Elbaph I Dreamed of. So, this is just another cover page. It's a reader request, so there's not really much to talk about here. It is Bon Clay, and it's Bon Clay's makeup. Swans helping themselves to Bon Clay's makeup. Okay, so some swans are stealing Bon Clay's makeup and using it. That's funny. I guess in live action One Piece news, Bon Clay has been cast semi recently for season 3, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. At the time of recording, we are still a couple of weeks away. It's February 1st right now, isn't it? Yeah, it's Sunday, February 1st. So we March 10th will be when season 2 of the live action starts coming out. And there's also going to be a wave 2 of the One Piece live action Lego sets. So if you have any hobbies in Lego and you like One Piece, that should be right up your alley. Okay, so we spent enough time on page 1. Let's move on to page 2. Page 2 and 3, I should say. I look at it in the fold-out format, which you can always tell by looking right underneath my little webcam. I am blocking out the manga panels because Shueisha will take this video down if I actually show anything. But I feel like I'm covering up just enough to where you can at least read along with me if you're watching this the day I'm streaming it live at Twitch TV/Sheet Streams. Or you could just watch it on YouTube within 3 or 4 weeks, because on Viz's official website you can always read the 3 most recent chapters for free, which is what we're doing right now. Alright, what's going on at the top of page 2? Just a wide shot. Oh, Gabon saying our foe's number 3, and their mission is to kidnap 10 giant children. Was it only 10 children? It's been so long. It's like 7 months since the whole child kidnapping plot was relevant to the story. Man, I hate it when flashbacks are this long. You know, I actually was running a One Piece D20 campaign at one point. I wonder how the players would feel if I shoved them into a flashback for like 6 months of the campaign. It would be on theme for One Piece. Alright. They mean to take children to the Holy Land and use them as hostages to coerce the warriors of Elbaph into being battle slaves. So we're not moving the plot forward. We're just reiterating the plot from 6 months ago for those who forgot, I guess. I wish this wasn't necessary, but honestly, my memory is really picky and choosy with what it chooses to remember. So I guess this is helpful. How can a mere trio of humans run rampant over both giant pirates and Mr. Ya? I'm sorry, I failed you, plain and simple. You say your children? These are giants, right? Our 3 humans, our size, going to carry these giant kids? That's a fair question, Sanji. The woman of the trio has strange power using arrows. It seems that wherever these arrows point, the children are helpless to resist them. They are walking ceaselessly towards the port in the western village. If they get to the boat, they can lose us at sea, and it's all over. That's the true end point of the situation. So we still gotta save the kids. That is more or less the end goal. Also, I don't know if Mr. Ya's aware of this because he fell off the branch, but Emu is also possessing the Arrow Lady right now. Gunko. Anywho, well, that is the end of page 1, 2, and 3. So, it's good enough recap. I hope that's the end of the recap. Let's go to page 4 and 5. No, we're still recapping. But if that's all, then why can we not simply take back the children? One of the 3 is a man named Summers. I know him, unfortunately. Well, Gabon knows him. The man with the powers of the thorn fruit. As a thorn man, he makes free use of his vicious and spiky vines. He can make them invisible, too. Was he shown to be able to do that before this? That's news to me. And wrap them around the children. And that means that we can't pick them up. How sadistic. Aye, and they're as hard as steel. If we interfere with the line of children, they'll bump into each other. And then they'll harm one another like hedgehogs. On top of that, the final member of the trio is the most likely the manifesting nightmares as real creatures. The children's greatest fears have come to life to prevent any attempt to save them. The irony is the children are simply walking in a line in broad daylight, but we're unable to do anything to help them. All to the game that they've created by 3 powers working together. Not so. We will save them. Alright. Seems to be quicker. Aim for causing all the problems. Oh, this must be, what's his name? Goldberg talking, because it's got the slur, not the slur. Speech impediment. You say you're immortal, but there was a way to stop them. Like trapping them in something, or crushing them, or eating them. Yeah, I agree with that. We're nearly up to the sun world. Alright. It looks like the elevator just hit the top. So this is basically Haruden's group with Mr. Ya going up the elevator. This whole conversation seems to be taking place on. That's what the panels seem to demonstrate for the most part. And the conversation and speech bubbles is all recap. Though I don't remember if, I swear Sommers wasn't able to make his vines invisible. But if it says he can, I guess. Well, let's go on to pages 6 and 7. No 6-7 jokes, anybody. Oh, there's the Needhog nightmare. The dragon's showing up and breathing fire. Well, we just get a big panning shot of the entire battlefield. It's beyond anything I've imagined. Is there no limit to these nightmare monsters? Look over there. Is that the Great Eric? Yeah, monsters everywhere. Dorian Broggy's crew was on board, but the monsters downed the ship as they fought back. Actually, it was mothers that took down the ship, not the monsters. Unthinkable. Is that Haruden? Kashi, you're alive. We've been down in the underworld. Tell us what's happening. It's hard to believe, but I'll try to explain. Oh no, we're gonna get more recap? Alright. Pages 8 and 9. That was a really short page. Captains Dory and Broggy are going to kill Chief Jarl. You have to stop them. Everyone's gone completely mad. What about the children, Kashi? Ripley's got a group chasing after them, but we haven't had any word of their success or not. They should have reached the port by now. Oh, Roto's up here. What about me? Bjorn's there. Bjorn? I have to go. My brother is one of the hostages. Oh, Bjorn was Rhodes' brother. Did we know that before? Was that ever stated? It doesn't sound familiar to me that it was ever stated. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'll go with him. Wait, Gerd's going with him? Okay. Hey, Kashi, which way to the school? Apparently Nami's group is near it. You see that fire? That's the school and the library burning. Why are they on fire? You say that Dory and Broggy have gone mad? That's right. Well, Zoro's asking questions. Okay. So I think everyone's getting ready to split up to go to each battlefield. So we have a few different battlefields now set up. So there's apparently Nami's group, which is over by the library and the school that are on fire. Then we have the Great Eric, where Dory and Broggy's group are going to go kill Jarl. And then we have... where did it say it? Yeah, Ripley's group. Ripley's group is going after the kids. And that's got Frankie with her, if I remember correctly. So I imagine Sanji's going to go after Nami's group. Or maybe Sanji will go after the kids, who knows? And it's looking like Zoro's setting up to go after Dory and Broggy. Roto and Gerd are going after the kids. As well as Goldberg. Alright. So pretty much 3 out of the 5 members of Haruden's group are going directly after the kids. Alright. Next up, pages 10 and 11, I guess. Oh, throw up in my mouth a little. Alright. Pages 10 and 11. You must hurry. Chief Jarl's life is in danger. Oh, we get a nice battle map. After I do that entire summary of where everyone is going and where they are, we just get a map that just iterates everything that I just said. Current location, at the elevator, where everybody is, school and library. Saul is somewhere between the library and where the kids are. Branch Route 8 is the route that they're taking. Oh, the port village is actually right near Orist Castle, so everybody seems to be heading more or less in the same direction, it seems. Alright, the Straw Hat crew is by the library. Library's burning. Chopper's still not back. Brook got some kind of idea in his head and ran off. Well, Brook ran off somewhere. That's news to me. They're taking the children. Get these arrows off me. I never wanted to see Master Dory and Master Broggy like that. Okay, so Usopp's upset. Meanwhile, Dory and Broggy, let's go kill Yarul. People are trying to stop them, get them back to their senses. Under the power of Dami Reversi, the giant pirates head for the Western Village. So everybody's heading to the Western Village via 3 different routes, it seems. The rescue team. Oh, Oimo's with Ripley. That's nice. We're coming for you, kids. Get the monsters out of the way. The hostage children. We're going to be at the port soon, and then... Don't whine, you're warriors of Elbaph. But we're not warriors! And at the Western Village, it's time to flee, Chief Jarl. There's no reasoning with Captain Dory and Captain Broggy right now. No, you should flee if you wish. I will stay. I have something to say to Elbaph. Ooh, is Jarl going to give a speech? Alright, let's go to page 12 and 13. Let's see if we get a speech. Clink. Oh, we're getting a speech. Transponders broadcast. Hear me, Elbaph. I wish to tell you everything before I die. Is that Chief Jarl? Our old liege, wise King Harold, wished to bring Elbaph to into the world government, so that we might coexist with the rest of the world. Oh, we get a panel of Gunko listening, or Emu listening, I guess, because they still have the devil wings. But on that fateful day 14 years ago, he was betrayed and denied his wish. Chief Jarl. I witnessed a demon slaughter Harold and the rest of his soldiers. Harold resisted bending the knee and handing over Elbaph to the demon. He fought and died. What? I thought Loki killed the king. The people are finally going to learn the truth. Look, honestly, I feel like the flashback could have been interspersed with this. And, because, boy, does it feel a little jarring. Personally, if it were up to me, I think that whole flashback with God Valley probably could have been abridged or not shown. That's my hot take. But if the people learned the truth, they would rise up in vengeance and become the warfaring nation that Harold did not desire. So I held my silence. Loki, meanwhile, bore the rage upon the nation and took to the sea. He may be a tactless man, but Loki is innocent. A bit inaccurate, but a nice turn of phrase. Nicer than he deserves. Aruden still has little issues with all of this, I guess. Well, page 12 and 13, let's see this speech continue. I feel like we're going to build up to a really epic big panel at the end. Who's texting me? Someone left a Labubu on Karl Marx's grave. This is a sentence that was never meant to be said. I'm glad that I'm being kept informed. Where was I? Page 14 and 15. Ooh, big spread panel of the Holy Knights. But today it seems that though they had given up initially, they once again require our massive power. And thus 3 demons have come back in an attempt to take over our country. Ugh, I could take a nap and still complete the mission at this point. Wow, Sommers is cocky as all hell. Listen up, you devils. If you spare the children's lives, we will freely give up our culture and history. But if you think that you've broken our spirit, you are sorely mistaken. Do not expect Harold's patience from us. You think you can rule over us and enslave us? Who do you think you are talking to? I'm sorry, children. I must ask you to cover your ears now. Are they able to? Are the children actually able to cover their ears? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, Usopp's good saying it. Usopp, yeah, that's right, Jarl. You tell him. The Elbaph I dreamed of doesn't bow to anyone. If the world is destined to be split in two, as the Harley prophecy suggests. Ooh, he's citing the Harley. Alrighty, 16 and 17. What I assume to be the final pages. Yep, final pages. Then Elbaph shall be an enemy to the world government. Do you think that thorns, reversey, and illusions would cause us to submit to your yoke? I like that, old man. Zoro does. Thank you for your input, Zoro. 3 centuries ago, he was the strongest man on the sea. Darn, so that means that Jarl was out of his prime at the ripe young age of 150. Because he's like 450 now, right? We will never give in to your rule. Am I wrong, all you proud warriors of Elbaph? You're damn right, Chief Jarl. Ah, the Elbaph I love is back. Usopp's just reveling in this. Just think of a way to undo these arrows. Oh, Nami's yelling at him. Protect the peace that Harold envisioned. Oh, looks like Harun's group is caught up. Watch out that you don't trip between them. Zoro says he's got a plan, and that's the panel that we end on. Wowee. Alrighty. Chapter review time. Well, considering that the first, 4 pages? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, roughly. The first 7 pages, roughly, are all recap, is a big downer. We're like only 23 minutes into the recording at this point, and we're done reading the chapter. It's a little bit of a bummer. But, looking at it from a week-to-week perspective, if you're binging these chapters, even if you're binging these chapters, it's been like, 40 chapters since the plot actually was in the present day? How many chapters was the Loki flashback? It feels like it was 30 to 40 chapters, at least. So, I'll give the recap a little bit of a pass this one time, just because it has been so long that I needed a little bit of a refresher. But at the same time, I'm just happy to see the plot moving forward at this point. I hope that there's not another break next week, so that we can continue to just this pace and then keep going forward. The biggest highlight of the chapter, hands down to me, is the speech. We get a speech from Jarl. The truth has been revealed. Everybody is now going to know that Loki is actually going to be here to save him, and maybe that's actually going to change how the nightmare creatures work, now that I think about it. We're going to mix some of the predictions in here with the highlights. So, it seems that if Loki is now going to basically be a savior to Elbaph, the Nightmare Loki, I wouldn't be surprised if it's funny if the Nightmare Loki switches sides and then starts fighting the other monsters and or the creators and ends up taking out... How funny would it be if... I've forgotten his name. The Holy Knight that's making the nightmares. If they get taken out by a nightmare they created, that would be hilarious. Karma, almost. And to be honest, I think this final panel here with Protect the Peace that Harold envisioned, that's probably going to be what I put in the thumbnail. Other predictions for next week? Maybe we'll cut back to Luffy's group. If I remember correctly, last chapter ended with Loki battling one of the nightmares. So, if the elevator has just now gotten Harun's group up here, and they've also now caught up to the main battlefield at this point, with Dory and Proggy, that means that it's going to be 3 in-universe minutes for the elevator to go down, and then 3 more minutes for the elevator to go back up, and bring up the rest of the crew. Although I think, what was it, Loki said he could fly, so maybe Loki will just show up in the next chapter. We also got the Holy Knights. They made an appearance here, but weirdly only Sommers got a line. And Emu Gunko-ish got some ellipses. So maybe we get a chapter where we just catch up with the Holy Knights and see what they're doing. They are our villains for the arc, so they're the ones that should be driving the plot. It's only fair. And I expect us to get at least 3 to 4 panels of the kids in the next chapter, just because they're getting ever so closer to the port. I'm also wondering if they're setting up a final battle in the castle, because when they bring up the map of the battlefield, they do take the time to note that Orist Castle is just west of the Western Village, meaning a battle might happen there. Like maybe the giants of the Western Village or Jarl and whatnot, they end up falling back to the castle because it's easier to defend. Which makes sense when you think about it. It is a castle, after all. And, frankly, it's just nice to have a map. Well, that's going to be all for this recording. Hopefully, there's no break next week. So, next time, we'll be reading chapter 1173, and I'm hoping that if any one of those predictions ends up proving correct. It's going to be about 6 minutes in universe time before, like, the last of the reinforcements show up from the underworld. But it is kind of crazy that the elevator is positioned in just the right spot to where Harudin's crew was able to get up and then just charge the battlefield. Because they're basically smack dab halfway between the library and the castle, which is pretty close to where Dory and Broggy are at the moment. I think the last time we got a map, they are basically roughly where the Great Eric fell. Although, I kind of hope that we cut back to Ripley's group. That's the group that I kind of want us to check in on. We get a panel of them in this chapter. Where is it? Yeah, at the top of page 11, we get a panel of them. Where it's Oimo and Ripley. I don't see Frankie. I don't remember. Did Ripley drop off Frankie somewhere? She might have dropped him off at the library. I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and check in other chapters. But that's enough for me. So, in the future, if you'd like to see more content like this, think about joining the Discord. It's where I let people know when I'm going live. I do have a full playlist of the majority of this arc, because in, I believe, chapter, 1030 or 1031, we started doing these live read-throughs of the chapter so that I could share how I'm feeling about reading the most recent chapter. So if you want to see what my reactions to earlier chapters are, there's a playlist on the YouTube channel. And if you'd like to see my other content, well, just stick around. We're going to be leaving really shortly, and we will be right back with some reactions on other stuff on the channel. This will hopefully be uploaded before the end of this week on YouTube for those who are watching these there. And I'm going to be editing some other stuff. Also, someone close to me has actually made some music for the channel. I'm going to try to incorporate that in a video at some point. Maybe the video that we react to later, I'll put it in there. Well, that's all from me. Stay safe. But if you're watching live, stick around.